This is a bizarrely twisted family, where the woman has killed her own father-in-law. Her husband, fully aware of the truth, chooses not to expose it. Instead, he blames his father's death on an enemy, seeking retaliation through this deceit. A friend suspects there's more to the story, only to be met with a barrage of insults from him.
And you have never had the stomach to do what it takes to make a name in this world. Good Salonius, forever bowing and scraping in the of his betters. Is it any wonder no woman would have you?
The words strike deeply, leaving Salonius speechless. Lucretia quickly intervenes to smooth things over, noticing Salonius no longer voices his opinions. Quintus, satisfied, apologizes and then takes him aside to discuss matters. Before leaving, he gives his wife a reassuring wink, their motives inscrutable. However, they could never have anticipated that Salonius would run straight to Tullius, betraying Quintus's plans, provoked by Quintus's harsh words. Upon learning that Ganicus is to be sold to a Syrian merchant, with a departure from the Capua port set for the next morning, Tullius decides on the spot to gather his men for a lesson Quintus won't forget. On the outskirts of Capua, Quintus has already arrived at the trading spot with Ganicus, accompanied by Barca and Enemaus.
The Syrians arrive.
Before they could meet, Tullius and his men confront them.
I grow weary of these games, Batiatus, and would see them to bitter end.
It turns out to be Quintus's trap, with ambushes set at both exits, manned by Ashur and Neus. A fierce battle is inevitable. As the fight breaks out, Salonius stays motionless, pressed against a wall. Tullius's haste becomes his downfall. His handful of men no match for a group of skilled gladiators. His men quickly subdued. Vettius knocked unconscious, and Tullius choked by Ganicus. Enemaus is about to kill Tullius in revenge for his wife, but Quintus stops him. The brothers hold back, trusting in their master's decision. Quintus then approaches a trembling Salonius.
You played your part to perfection!
It was not difficult. When passion for vengeance overtakes caution, even the keenest of minds is easily deceived.
Orders to the last.
Tullius is soon dragged to the training ground, his pleas ignored by Quintus, who seals him within the arena's walls.
This arena was your life. Add to its foundations.
Vettius is taken elsewhere by Salonius, who threatens him to keep silent about the incident and strikes a deal. Meanwhile, Lucretia secures Crixus again, with her husband avenging on her behalf. She fully indulges herself. The new arena games begin, with Quintus finally taking his place in the main stand. Claiming Tullius's invitation, the VIPs present do not suspect a thing. Soon, Vettius joins them, telling everyone that Tullius is away on business and won't return soon, and that he will soon join Tullius. All gladiators in the training ground are handed over to Salonius, surprising Quintus, who had planned a split with Salonius, evidently betrayed. Thus, Salonius becomes Quintus's greatest rival. The arena prepares to execute prisoners as a prelude to the duels, with Cassius spotting a familiar face among them.
Diana.
Diana, having lost all hope for the future after being toyed with by Cassius and facing numerous injustices, even contemplates suicide. Her friend Naevia, unable to bear seeing her waste away, secretly frees her from the mansion during the ranking duels, providing her with money for travel, hidden away from Gaia's belongings, to help her friend bribe guards and escape Capua. Diana is touched, wishing her friend could join her, but Naevia, as the personal servant of the master, knows her departure would raise alarms. The sisters embrace tenderly, parting with heavy hearts. Naevia only hopes her friend can live on safely, but fate targets the unfortunate, and she never imagined reuniting with her friend under such circumstances. Fortunately, the magistrate asks if the slave's owner wishes to spare Diana's life, offering Naevia a glimmer of hope. Just after Quintus suffered betrayal from Salonius, he wanted to mock Salonius, to show what happens to those who betray him. Because of this intention from Quintus, Diana lost all hope of living. Diana looks up, hoping to see her friend, but Naevia is unable to help. As Salonius announces the start, Naevia watches the cheering crowd, feeling the world's deep malice. Romans revel in such bloody spectacles, with the first person quickly executed, followed by a little girl, visibly terrified. Diana is also scared, looking to her friend, hoping for a miracle. As the little girl is executed, Lucretia looks at her husband, and Quintus firmly decides not to save Diana. With no hope left, as the third person falls, Diana realizes no miracle will happen. She looks at Naivia, who finally can't help but cry. The sisters gaze at each other, hoping to be friends again in another life. They nod at each other with a smile, as Diana's death signals the start of the duel. The contenders are gladiators from Quintus and Salonius, with the winner advancing to the final grand battle. Crixus leads the charge to victory, followed by Ashur, Dagon, and Neas. On Salonius' side, a strong fighter, Cabrus, wins against two opponents. Ganicus also triumphs over two, setting the final lineup. As darkness falls and torches light the arena, Quintus' side has 7 fighters.
The Dominus would have words.
Quintus boosts morale, revealing they are outnumbered 2-1, with only one emerging as Capua's champion, promising a bloody battle.
And by the gods, that man will be from the house of Batiatus!
The battle is about to begin, led by Ganicus and Crixus for the Batiatus family's 7 gladiators. Opposing them are 13 gladiators led by Cabrus from Salonius' family. To enhance the spectacle, the magistrate orders a circle doused in oil, igniting a fierce fire. Exciting the audience, the magistrate announces the rules. Being thrown out of the circle disqualifies one from the championship, while within, one risks death by opponents.
Take position!
Both sides ready, waiting for the command to fight.
Begin!
Cabrus first confronts Ganicus, overpowering him with his strength. Lucentius arrives just in time to save Ganicus, who otherwise might have fallen immediately, but Lucentius suffers greatly, felled by Cabrus' strike. Lying lifeless, Ganicus, regaining strength, begins to attack others, avoiding Cabrus' edge. Seeing Crixus dominating the field, Cabrus targets him, both strong gladiators, but Cabrus' kick sends Crixus flying several meters before landing. Crixus quickly avoids attacks from other gladiators. Suddenly, Dagon attacks his teammate Ashur, although originally friendly compatriots. Ashur exploited Dagon's inability to understand common speech, feigning surrender in the ranking match to hit his weak spot, then costing him his right eye, leading Dagon to seek revenge eagerly. Regrettably, things did not go as hoped. Ashur seized the opportunity to throw sand into Dagon's eyes, who, blinded and unprepared, was stabbed by Ashur and thus sacrificed. At this moment, Neas lights up the fishing net. Shenru also foolishly challenges Cabrus but is smacked into the air by a shield. Even if the fall doesn't kill him, he'll be finished off. Cabrus then turns his attention to Neas. Crixus takes this chance to launch an attack, teaming up with Ashur to eliminate the last few opponents around them. Ashur suggests they first take down Ganicus and then fight each other to see who is more ruthless, but Crixus, valuing brotherhood above all, cuts off Ashur's right leg and throws him out of the fire circle. Ashur's disability and burns stem from this, fueling his hatred for Crixus. Crixus picks up a shield and charges forward, intending to first secure victory with Ganicus before starting the final battle. However, both underestimate Cabrus' combat strength, with Crixus quickly wounded. Fortunately, Ganicus pushes Crixus out of the fire circle to save him. Now it's a one-on-one duel. Ganicus, unarmed, is forced to retreat, using whatever is nearby. He finally grabs a short sword and stabs it into Cabrus' calf. Ganicus then kicks him over and turns to pick up a long sword, only for Cabrus to knock it away. After a series of battles, Ganicus is nearly exhausted, but Cabrus doesn't deliver a fatal blow. Seemingly enjoying the process, confident of victory, Cabrus turns to the audience to cheer, unaware of his opponent's prowess. Ganicus looks up to see Enemous's encouraging gaze, As if he and Melita were cheering him on together, Ganicus slowly stands up. Known for his exceptional combat intellect, often, he only needs a few seconds to devise a winning strategy. Ganicus turns defeat into victory, surprising everyone. Several VIPs hope he will join their games. A dream come true for Quintus. Salonius comes up with a great idea, suggesting the magistrate grant Ganicus his freedom. To make this day unforgettable, the magistrate likes the suggestion. He tells Quintus, "You can always train another champion gladiator." In such a situation, Quintus finds it hard to refuse and agrees. The magistrate immediately announces the decision.
Ganicus has proven himself to the city of Capua. Let him be rewarded with freedom.
Ganicus earns his freedom through effort, inspiring countless gladiators. They all hope to prove themselves and gain freedom like Ganicus. Unbeknownst to them, this freedom is merely a product of Roman gambling, rare and not easily obtained. Only through rebellions like that of Spartacus can true freedom be achieved. Meanwhile, Quintus, believing he can reach great heights, does not realize his family will be destroyed by Spartacus, and Ganicus begins his life of freedom.